This is Mitesh Patel waiting for a pizza. Minutes earlier, he'd murdered his wife. He even made a 999 call to the police.
Police emergency.
Oh, hiya. I think we've been burgled and my wife's been attacked. Well, I've just come home. I was just out. I went to get something to eat and see the lads at work and get my laptop. And I've just come home and the house is ransacked. And she's just on the floor. She's got duct tape all over her and she's unconscious.
Instantly I can tell this guy is lying, bro. Look how high-pitched his voice is.
Jessica Patel's been described as kind, loving, quiet and sensitive. But she wasn't what he wanted. For while publicly Mitesh Patel pretended to be a happily married Middlesbrough pharmacist, privately he led a double life, signing up to the gay dating app Grindr.
Okay, now this makes sense why his voice is so high-pitched.
Where he met numerous men, including a doctor he'd describe as the real love of his life.
I don't get why guys get into full-blown relationships, let alone marriages, when they're gay. It just doesn't make sense. Why don't you just own up to how you really feel?
By 2015, that infatuation grew to the point where he even told him her days are marked, adding in a text, "Do you understand where I'm coming from?"
So this guy wanted to murder his wife because he decided he was gay and he wanted to have a boyfriend.
Jessica found out about the relationship but stayed with Mitesh at their home in Middlesbrough.
She even found out and she was still willing to stay. I'm actually shocked to find out how this guy killed his wife.
The couple even continued having fertility treatment to start a family. But Mitesh's dreams lay far away from their home, even suggesting to his boyfriend in Australia they could bring up the baby together.
So this idiot has come to the decision to murder his wife for someone he hasn't even met? Yeah, hit different.
What are your thoughts if she goes earlier than you think, he asked. Will you love it like your own? Jessica never had a child, but one night last May, Mitesh Patel decided he'd had enough, subduing her at the house with a shot of insulin before strangling her using a Tesco bag for life. Mitesh Patel then fled the house and in the minutes that followed made a cruel and almost clumsy attempt to cover up the crime. Before leaving, he'd ransacked the house to make it look like there'd been a break-in. Next, he called into the pharmacy speaking to staff, an attempt police say to build an alibi. Then he called at Romano's takeaway nearby. He was pacing up and down. But the owner who served him that night said Patel had managed to seem normal, even asking after a delivery driver who just lost his wife.
So as this guy was getting his pepperoni, he had the time to offer condolences to a man who just lost his wife?
Minutes after killing his own.
He told him sorry about you lose and...
While he was waiting?
Yeah, when he waiting, he come and he give him cuddle to my driver and he tell him sorry about you lose, about your wife.
You had no idea of what he'd done. His behaviour was normal.
To be honest, when I see him, he look like nice person. I can't believe when he do like that.
CCTV showed Patel returning home with the pizza, where he soon rang police, telling them someone had attacked his wife.
So there's footage of him on camera on the day he murdered his wife. So did he not think, okay, before I kill my wife, let me scope out our apartment. Let me see if there's any cameras that could get me caught.
But the same footage showed he'd left the house shortly beforehand. These pictures quickly exposing the lies he told detectives and his own family, that he hadn't seen Jessica at all that evening.
And this is what I'm saying, this guy is not a criminal, man. He's just a fool who decided to let his emotions take over.
Today's conviction reflects the enormity of Mitesh Patel's crime, who for his own devious reasons, which included pre-planning the murder for financial gain to the tune of £2 million, took Jess's life.
Police also found internet history on Patel's laptop that showed he'd been planning the murder to start a new life on the other side of the world with his boyfriend.
Bro really left all his evidence on his laptop. He couldn't even use incognito mode.
He'd searched a range of subjects, including Hindu funeral, strangulation, selling a business, moving to Australia, and even making a search for "I need to kill my wife." Leaving some at his trial almost incredulous, he told the court he and Jessica had researched these subjects together as he continued to blame her death on a mystery intruder. Forensic psychologist Dr. Michelle Carr has worked with killers and violent offenders and says Patel's traits are pathological and narcissistic.
Well, they can go through some stages in regards to kind of wanting this other life and living this apparent fine existence. However, behind the scenes things are very much not okay, and the person that is stood in the way of them attaining these goals or this lifestyle they want to lead, eventually they might feel like they have no option but to actually get rid of that.
This guy isn't no killer, man. He was most likely hiding in the closet, and when he decided that he was done with married life, he killed his wife, bro.
Mitesh Patel's account of what happened to his wife was described in court as ridiculous. He'd already admitted wanting to escape what he called the prison of his marriage. Tonight, he's facing life behind bars.
Yeah, man, when you kill someone, you do affect a lot of lives, man. I hope that guy does get everything he deserves whilst he's in pen, because
it's an evil world we live in.